how effective are you going to be when you fight and you're not fighting from a position of victory or position of hope?
They think guys are abstaining. They're not. It's because they just can't get that access.
Almost all of us were shown some form of pornography at a young age.
They're going to help you manage all of this data, but it's really an access point.
What was the most influential sources to the Founding Fathers? 34% of all the quotes they identified came out of the Bible.
We have accounted for every single terrorist cell that we know that hates America have crossed over.
Have they been captured?
No.
We're now in a war of narratives versus the truth.
For COVID, that treatment strategy came to me as an answer to prayer in a dream.
25 to 47% of all trafficking is familial.
Right.
Now it's the...
In the U.S.
In the U.S. Now it's the caregiver. So yes, let's highlight the evil. We do. But let's speak hope. Welcome everybody to The Bottom Line. I feel like I say this often, but it's good to have friends in the other chair. It's good when it's somebody that I not just want to have on the show, but really consider a brother in the kingdom of God and just a champion, someone who's making a massive impact. So today it's a huge honor to have Brandon Pogue. Brandon, welcome.
Hey, bud.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, you too.
You're the one guy that I think maybe in a different time, under different circumstances, you know, we would have seen on a pro football field or something.
I don't know. I think what's been neat is how the God he's used the back half of my life, you know, the last 15
in fitness
20
and
years.
nutrition.
Yeah. I think
it's amazing.
It was not such a focus at the beginning of my life. It was more toward the middle of my life. You know, I'm 45 now.
Let's dive. I mean, what was the fitness and nutrition focus for you at school? Like, let's say high school. Did you play sport?
So I did. Yeah, I played a lot of sports, and I think that was a bit of a problem because I grew up in a small town. McKinney back then was a 4A town, so you could play all the sports. So I played football, I played basketball, I was in track.
Yeah,
and I loved all those sports, but I probably should have honed in.
No, but I like in high school, I like the diversity. I like it. I did too. I like it. It makes you well-rounded. But I hear what you're saying. Maybe if you honed in, it would have maybe advanced a particular sport.
I think that you can become a specialist, and then that would, you know, and a lot of athletes will do this.
At some point.
It'll springboard them on to the next gen like you did. You went and played pro, right?
At some point, you do need to specialize, yeah. But I mean, that's playing the sport. I didn't, when I was in high school, really focus on nutrition. I mean, we just ate whatever.
It was peanut butter and jelly, so you could gain weight.
I mean, it was carbo load, and you know, when did God, and I know it was God because we've had this conversation, but when did God inspire you to say, hey, listen, I'm calling you to help people get their physical bodies, their physical temples in alignment, get it healthy? When was that?
You know, it was actually, there used to be this group called Faith RX, which was started by this lady named Becky Konzelman. And there was this group of CrossFitters that were really passionate about Jesus. And they were starting up these Bible studies in all these different towns.
At CrossFit gyms or
at CrossFit gyms, but they would do it. They would do a workout, then they would do like a Bible study.
Yeah.
You know, and I was thinking about this the other day. There's this guy named Guido Trinidad who started Wadpalooza, which was this phenomenal movement. But Guido taught a little breakout session. I went to a deal with this Faith RX in Atlanta, Georgia, and he taught this one little session. It was just maybe an hour session, and he taught how you could use fitness to glorify God, and you could use fitness to reach people for Jesus. And I remember in this class thinking, man, that's different, because really kind of fitness at that time was so narcissistic. It was so about
self-grandizing.
How do you look? You know, how do you perform? And you know, when I saw that you can use this common ground that other people share as a hobby or a lifestyle or a discipline, whatever you want to call it, to bring in people for Jesus, I was like, man, that's really cool. And it really resonated. And that's, I think, when the seed was planted and God used a lot of other experiences to kind of build upon that foundation. But I think that was probably the actual first time that it really hit me.
Wow. And what year was that?
Gosh, this was probably 2015, 2016.
Okay. It's been a season.
Mm-hmm. No, it's
Yeah.
been 10 years.
Yeah, and then from that birth, something just spectacular got moving.
So from that birth, what happened was we went through a time where my wife and I started to experience holistic medicine and natural medicine and the power of supplements versus kind of Western medicine.
Mhm.
You know, where Western medicine is like, hey, I'm sick. They give you a pill.
And this is well ahead of COVID.
This is
Well ahead
this
of
is
COVID.
years and years
Yeah,
before that.
yeah.
But I would say 2012, 2013, you know, even before that moment, you know, we were starting to experience holistic medicine and the power of supplements and the right kind of supplements and vitamins into your diet, how that could really help treat a cause and not just treat the symptom.
Yeah. Talk to me a little bit. And look, we're going to get deep into TruLabs, which is amazing, unbelievable. Becca, why don't you just go ahead right now for me and pull up the TruLabs website? I want to give people context here because I want them to have the frame of reference as we talk, to maybe even as they watch the show, to go and you know, look at these things while we go through it. If you'll just pull it up there, and Dan, if you'll throw it up.
Hey, we have a Valentine's sale going on today.
Come on.
Pink pre-workout without caffeine. It's a non-stem pre-workout. I didn't even know that was happening.
It's happening.
Yeah,
This is happening on your
somebody
website.
call marketing right now.
Somebody call marketing. Go. Yeah. Good idea.
Good idea.
All the girls are happy. I mean, order it now, today. This is a today order. The founder didn't know, but he does know because I tell you, his other half knows that it's up there.
Yeah.
Jen has made sure that it's up there, and this is your code. You better get some of that for Jen for tomorrow. No, but okay. I just want people to have reference. We're going to be discussing TruLabs as a company, a kingdom company, a for-profit company, which I love. It's for-profit for good. It's impacting the kingdom through for-profit. But before we get there, and we'll go bounce back and forth through the website, and we'll definitely dive into it and get into product and all that. There's a couple pointed questions I want to ask you, and I've got a reason to ask you these things. Firstly, not a question, a statement. Still to date, the greatest CrossFit home gym I've ever seen in my life. Dude, I mean, it is just, I still have not, well, technically.
But you kind of did work out during that commercial.
I did do a workout there, technically. Okay, but I still want to come do a real workout when we did the commercial, but I still want to do that. Okay. Just had to say that. It's amazing. What is going on? Highlight some of the lies for me. Just going to go for the jugular. In the world of nutrition, supplements, fillers, some of the things, some of the false marketing and advertising out there, and you don't need to mention names, but just the substances people are consuming, that's not what they think it is. I want to draw a parallel.
Well, I think you'll see this a lot in the vitamin industry, right? People think something's good for them. They hear about omega-3 or they hear about a fish oil or something like that, and they're not really trusting the source of where the actual vitamin comes from. They're just kind of trusting the brand. So if the brand loses integrity, if they get purchased or something of that nature, what happens is a founder starts something. He's got this flagpole that he plants, and he says, "Man, we're going to help people. We're going to help people." But then these companies transition to becoming about the dollar.
Most of them, CPGs, most consumer packaged goods, the upside is sell.
Yeah.
Exit to a larger company.
And people always ask me, it's like, Brandon, what's your plan with TruLabs? I'm like, I don't have a plan with TruLabs. Like, whatever God wants us to do, it's his business, right? So if he wants us to sell it, if he wants us to grow it, if he wants us to give it away, we'll do whatever God tells us to do, right? But I think the biggest thing is that brands start with good intentions, but then they become focused on the dollar chase because it becomes something that's driven by a CFO or a profitability item, whereas most brands probably start with good intentions, but I think it's hard for them to keep that over the long term.
Yeah, and I think, look, I have journeyed with you for a while now, and I've been afforded the opportunity to look into some of these things with you. And I think one of the saving graces, and which is the downfall of a lot of brands, especially in nutrition, right, is venture capital.
Yeah, for sure.
And the pressure from VC to say, listen, we understand that you want to help people, but there's a more cost-effective way to do this, and it's pump and dump. Let's pump the valuation up, and it's dump it off and sell it off because it's all about the dollar, and then the founder loses the vision.
You see me squirming in my chair because
know.
that's the point we're at right now, right?
I
We're
know.
in this business that, is in 9,000 stores, retail stores, probably across the United States. And it's such a struggle to keep on the control, to keep the control and to keep the reins, because look, I don't want to bring in an investor who tells me how to run my business. I don't want to bring in a venture capital company that tells me how to run my business. So Jen and I, my wife and I, who's the head of our marketing, right? Our CMO, who you love.
Yep.
and know
Amazing.
really well.
Very talented, gifted,
And
strong.
I
woman.
love you, babe, if you're listening right now. Right.
Yep.
But
I hope she's watching this
I
show.
hope so,
Jen, you
too.
should be. Oh, the girls should too. At college,
probably-
you all
she
should be
probably
watching
is.
this show.
But the thing is I want, when we felt like, Lord, do we bring in people to partner with and to come in and to bring capital into our business? Because everybody says, well, you need to bring in investors. You need to bring in investors. And we keep feeling that God says, no, give 100% of the company to God so he can control it. Because if we bring those investors in, they're going to start to steer the business in maybe a way that, as the visionary, as the founder, that I would disagree with.
Yeah, and you're in the push-pull because you're growing rapidly. We're going to get into that, and where can people find it, and we're going to talk about all of that. But it is that moment of what people don't realize often, and I know because both of us have walked a journey with big box of retail,
Yeah.
and understand that the blessing is also, there's something that comes with the blessing. There's a raw product that has to be purchased and manufacturing, and there's a capital outlay. And so I want to dive into that right after this quick break. I want to talk to you about Patriot Mobile, the only Christian conservative cell phone company in the United States that actually votes with their conscience and with their dollar. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, a portion of your monthly installment payment is going to go towards saving children in the womb, going to the border with us, helping rescue children from human trafficking. You are not going to see a downgrade in your service. All the major towers are used by the same company. So if you like AT&T, Verizon, or T-Mobile, you can choose your carrier through Patriot Mobile. You can switch carrier mid-year if you want to. So why don't you reach out to patriotmobile.com/the bottom line, or call them and mention the bottom line. Tell them I sent you so you can get free activation. And Glenn Story at Patriot Mobile told me, Jaco, I will even buy them out of their contract. You cannot lose. Stop giving your money to cell phone providers that funds Planned Parenthood and other initiatives that do not align with your value system. Check out patriotmobile.com/the bottom line. TruLabs, as a word, means something. Tell me what it means to you. And then I want to talk about the explosion of TruLabs, because I remember vividly, I hope you do,
Yeah, I do.
as I get a phone call, and you're a champ, you're a man of God, you're a soldier, you're a warrior, you're a watchman, but you were emotionally overrun by saying, I'm praying, and a Walmart truck is driving by me.
Yeah.
And you get a call going, hey, you're going into big box retail. And the explosion's been rapid. I mean, it really has been surreal. It's been a blessing.
Yeah. So one of the ways that we activated our faith in our family was when we were starting talks with Walmart, right, was that we would pass these trucks on the highway, and I'd look at my son. My son Maverick would be, he was probably 12 years old at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, hey, Maverick, you see that Walmart truck? And he goes, that Walmart truck? I'm like, yeah, Dad, that Walmart truck. I said, TruLabs is going to be on that truck someday. Before we had any deal,
Yeah.
before we knew anything was going to do. And so we did that throughout the whole day. We saw probably 20 Walmart trucks that day. And finally, by the end of the day, Maverick's like, okay, Dad, I get it. And we've done this from now on today. Now it's like, hey, you see that Walmart truck? TruLabs is on that truck, probably on that truck right now.
Yeah.
And we spoke, I think a lot of times as believers, we don't take enough authority as kings and queens of God that he's set out, that he's pushed out there. We don't take enough authority and responsibility in that realm to let the angels go do what they need to do.
If God birthed it, you can speak it with a bold declaration, because that's how God created the universe. He spoke it. It's a spoken word. And I want people to grab what you're saying. It's speaking blessing over their children. You're not the one blessing your children. It's from God. Yes. It is His. It passes through us. But trust me, you can prevent God from moving in your life by not holding true to his promises, not taking his word for what it is, not claiming it as the absolute truth, and then muzzling it. And what you're talking about, saying, no, because God called you to do this, down to formula and recipe, and we could get into the nuance of it. This is birthed by God.
Yes.
To help people transform their lives, to better their physical body, which we call their temple, right? Then you can declare it, and you should, and believers should, and they don't. They don't. There's some weird belief system as almost as if it's a false humility at times, or there's a fear of, if I do it, does it mean that I'm thinking I'm the one? No, God knows your heart. If God called you to go be, speak it. Speak it in purity and in love, with humility, but speak it.
So I was reading yesterday, devil is known as also as the accuser.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm reading Wild at Heart, which is like the first time I've reread it in 20 years. And I'm going through a Bible study with these guys every Wednesday morning. We're going through a book study. And this is the book that we chose for this season. Right.
Yeah,
so we do a chapter every month. There's this one guy that, and I think it's chapter 9, that's talking about he would wake up every morning and he would hear this voice, and the voice would say, "Wake up, loser," because the devil is the accuser.
Mm-hmm.
And if you activate that with your mouth, and if you believe that, and if you act on it, then you're empowering that to happen.
Yeah.
But as Christians, as a man of God, right? As a man of God, you can say, "No, that's not who I am. I know who I am. I was bought with a price.
Mm-hmm.
And I know who Jesus has called me to be."
Yep.
Right. And I think there's so much when you activate faith through speaking it.
Well, it becomes part of who you are. It's being versus doing.
That's right.
Being. Be a son of God. He'll flow through you. As I was driving in to do the show today, one of my prayers over the show is that other small business, other entrepreneurs out there that are teetering with, man, I'm in faith, I'm in the kingdom. Do I do this? Do I not? Is it okay to have a for-profit business? Can I utilize a for-profit business for can I make an impact for the kingdom of God? The answer is absolutely yes. Dive into TruLabs, study Brandon's story, check out Brandon's own podcast, listen to what he has to say, learn from what Brandon and Jen, and we're not saying it's perfect, we all learn, we're being refined every day. But there's favor, and it's exploded. Currently in Walmart.
Yeah, we're in Walmart. We're in Harris Teeter, Discount Drug Mart, Meijer up in the Northeast.
Yeah.
A number of other grocery stores. So, right, if we're not in your grocery store now, we probably will be in the next 8 months.
Rebecca, pull that back up for me if you don't mind. Dan, let's go to full screen. People probably go, okay, dude, TruLabs, what is it? Okay, it is a Kingdom Health supplement brand. Brandon, why don't you talk to us about the products you have? I want to, I personally take it. I have actually I'm completely out because everything
you're not now because I brought a bunch.
Yeah, but I gave everything I had to a UFC fighter, to a friend. Dan, did we give some?
Would you go to the products page and just shift? Because I look, pre-workout's great, and only a small percentage of the population.
Oh, that's a great page. I've always loved
this page right here, though. Like this hydrate product is the product that we're really known for.
Yeah, hydrate.
Right. So
talk to me about hydration. Keep it up, please. We're going to keep that up, but talk to me about hydration. We all know, well, hydration is important. Let's talk about absorption.
Yes.
And not just hydration. Let's talk about, because there's a thing called dead water and water that does nothing. Talk absorption for me. Why is this product? Because it is. I called you one day and I said, dude, I've got a migraine. And just as a test, not that I was testing you, but look, I'm an athlete. I played pro sports for a long time. I had a migraine. I said, okay, I know it's a dehydration migraine. I knew it was. I had long travel, lots of coffee, diuretics. I did not take care of my body. I took one hydrate. And I'm not saying this is going to be the same for everybody.
And this is not paid today. Everybody's thinking that you're paid to say this. I mean, you're plugging us so hard, and I love it.
No, this is real.
Yeah.
I'm a former pro athlete. Yeah. I've taken, look, they try everything, okay? IVs on the sideline. Yep. I mean, they do crazy stuff, right? Within 15 minutes, that migraine was gone. I now treat, if I get migraines, I treat my migraines with hydrate. technically, if I just stay on my hydrate, I should never get a migraine,
Yeah, that's
right?
right.
But I mean, it happens at times. Yeah.
So I think you need to listen to the story about how hydrate was created, right?
Yeah, please.
So there's 1,300 steelworkers. We found a study, and the study basically said there was these 1,300 steelworkers working in Asia. And after working for this company for 1 year, hot. I mean, they're wearing fire retardant suits.
They lose weight. They're
losing
massive,
weight,
very hot.
but they work for this company 8 hours a day, just sweating all day long. And after working for this company for a period of 1 year, every person working in this company developed one of two symptoms: high blood pressure disease or heart disease. And so they said, what are we doing because we're killing our people, and how can we stop injuring our people who are coming to work for our company? They bring in a group of 50 scientists. These 50 scientists analyze every ounce of sweat that these people are losing in their fire retardant suits every day. They do it for a period of a month. They find out that there's 15 vitamins and minerals that if they'll feed them at dinner time, that these people start to recover from the symptoms. In fact, it gets so good that a lot of them, and many of them,
replenishing.
Yeah, many of them get off of their prescription drugs that they were on to help their high blood pressure or their heart disease, right? And so they feed them these 15 vitamins and minerals every night.
Treating the cause,
not the
symptom,
right?
Yep.
Which is the same 15 vitamins and minerals you'll find in here. Plus, we've got 3 others, which are B vitamins.
So you actually have never told me this. I don't know if you know this, but you've never. This is awesome that I can discover something new from a friend. So you're telling me the 15 vitamins and minerals that they identified that these steel workers were depleted from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is what is fundamental to hydrate.
It's the basis of our foundation. It's the basis of everything that we put in there. So here's what's great. Like if you look at our other competitors like Liquid IV or Drip Drop or Noon or any of these other kind of what I call powdered hydration companies, they have a fraction. And by a fraction, like less than half of the ingredients that we have. Some have, Gatorade has like 3.
Gatorade's awful.
Yeah. I'm not here to bash Gatorade.
Well, I'm just telling you, for the body, brilliant,
it's not good.
Brilliant marketing.
Well, you'll see it on the sideline, but people aren't drinking it, right?
Right. I didn't. When you chug Gatorade, and you go run, you'll cramp up. You don't feel good.
So anyway, what's great is that because of brands like Liquid IV who are spending so much money in this category, it's growing like crazy, and there's like this hyper awareness around hydration. We're able to just kind of ride on their coattails because people find us and then they don't drink Liquid IV anymore, right? Because of a couple things. The way it makes them feel. It doesn't feel like it's heavy in your belly like other brands do.
That's true. Yeah.
And then also the way it tastes. So we put just as much emphasis on the actual ingredients. And so let me give you an example. When we test magnesiums that go in our product, we tested 60 different magnesiums from different vendors, different types of magnesiums to find the very best magnesium that went into our product. But we do that with the entire ingredient stack.
Yeah, with the whole stack.
Chromium, vanadium, copper, whatever. All of them, we do the same thing. We do the same process. But then we make it taste really, really good.
That was the differentiator for me. You remember when we shot the commercial, I asked you, I said, hey, can my kids drink this? My children are young. They're young. My youngest is really young, right? He's not even in school.
Yeah.
And you said, yeah. And the kids drank it.
And they loved it.
Immediately.
Yeah.
How rare is it to find something that tastes good but is actually good for you? So we talked about fillers earlier, vitamins. People think they're drinking something. They don't know where it's sourced. What is that chain of custody like? I mean, where is it sourced from? How do you maintain a balance between keeping it cost effective, but also giving your customers the best?
Well, the great thing is when you have mass like Walmart, we're in the process of making 3.6 million sticks right now. When you get that kind of volume,
talk about a stick. What is a stick?
This
is what you call a stick.
This is a stick, right? It's a stick pack.
It's a quick tear.
You just open it up, you pour it into your drink, and you're done.
It's a quick mix,
right? But it's a stick pack. So we're making 3.6 million for a big launch about our Gen 3 products that are coming in May, which I'm really...
This is Gen 2?
This is Gen 2.
I've loved Gen 2.
Gen 2 is great.
Gen 1?
After this year, Gen 2 is gone.
What is Gen 3? What makes Gen 3? Gen 3 is not on our website yet.
Gen 3 is not. It's not even available
When
yet.
is this coming out?
May. So we'll be in
You
2,700
brought me the
Walmarts.
last of your Gin 2 stash.
I didn't bring you the last of it
No, I'm
because we
kidding,
still
I'm
got
kidding,
we still
I'm
got
kidding.
millions of sticks.
I
there.
know.
But here's the thing: we use natural flavors, natural colors, and we test and make sure everything in that box is good for you. The biggest complaint that we've had with this is that we use an ingredient called sucralose, which is a sweetener. It's
Because you're
it's
zero sugar,
zero sugar, non-caloric. It's
5
a
calories.
So here's the deal: there's 100 million either pre-diabetic or diabetic Americans.
Yeah,
that's as many people are in all of Ukraine. In America, we have 100 million either pre-diabetic or diabetic people. And so we're not going to feed them any more sugar. When you look at some of our competitors, I won't say any names, but it rhymes with IV liquid. Okay. They have 11 grams of sugar in a 15-gram packet.
Yeah, insane.
Right. So why would you get sugar?
As a transport mechanism, but also as to make it taste tolerable.
It's not a transport mechanism. It's literally just a mechanism.
They say that.
Yeah, they say, and it's all natural, right?
Yeah, but it's not.
It's a sugar. It's a sugar product.
It's to make it taste. It's the American way, right?
Mm-hmm. So
sugar it up.
So we've used sucralose and we've tested sucralose. It's unbelievable. It's crazy safe. It tastes really good. It spreads over the tongue really well.
Yeah.
And we've used it in all our products. But there have been studies, and I don't necessarily agree with them, but there have been studies come out where it's got this negative kind of news and press that's around it. So we're like, look, let's keep helping people, because that's our mission. Like our mission, like when you look at the bottom of our box, it says 3 John 2 on the bottom of it, which is, dear friends, I pray that you are doing well physically just as you are spiritually. So we want to keep helping people. So how do we do that? So we're evolving as a brand, right? So coming out in May, we're going to have what our Gen 3 products, which is a new sweetness system using monk fruit as the base that we have developed in our office. I mean, literally above the gym, not sucralose. We won't, after this year, we won't use sucralose anymore. Although I still like what I'm drinking right now. This is still sucralose, and I still think it's safe.
But someone slapped a bad connotation on it, and they trying to villainize it. But God gave you a way to pivot, and
so God didn't just give us a way to pivot. These new products are so phenomenal that I was talking to a buddy of mine who works at a big flavoring company up in Utah, and when I told him what we had done with the new sweetness system, he goes, "No," he's like, "I don't believe it." I'm like, "No, look." His name's Jared. I'm like, "Jared, we really have done this." And he's like, "No, I don't believe you." I'm like, "Jared, look, I'm telling you, I've been doing this for years, for the last 7 years. I know what we've done." He goes, "Look, if you've done what you're telling me you've done, you should go patent this, just the sweetness system alone.
Yeah.
Because it's the holy grail." And I'm like, okay. But that's what happens when you bring God into your business.
Now he brings solutions.
He brings solutions, right? So this is a solution that we've
not
been
Band-Aids,
looking for.
solutions.
No.
Yeah.
But when you invite God to come in and
absolutely.
help you with your business, he gives you these opportunities, which are phenomenal.
Yeah. Okay. In the product line, because my aim for this episode is exactly the aim for TruLabs. I don't work for TruLabs. I don't get paid a cent. Never want to. Don't need to. Don't own stock. I consume the product. It's amazing. I believe in it because it works 100%.
Yeah.
But what I believe in more is helping God's people get healthy. And that's the mission of this brand, is helping people get healthy. I believe you can eat yourself healthy. I think I'm day 40. I don't even know what it is. Maybe I went on a 21-day fast, and day 21 came, and I was like, I feel great. I'm not going to stop. It was a 21-day beef-only fast, nothing else. And day 21, I was like, I feel great. My gut health felt great. I'm getting back in fight shape.
Well, I noticed it. I was like, because I haven't seen you in 21 days. And I'm like, Jaco, what's going on?
I look better, and my hair's longer.
Yeah.
I don't know if the hair has anything to do with it.
The hair looks great. Hair looks great.
That's just dude didn't cut his hair. And I'll get to that. But I slowly started adding fruit and started adding some other things into it. But I want believers. I really am on a mission, even in my own family, to agnostic of TruLabs. It is time for the sons and daughters of God to cover all the bases.
Can I be 100% real with you right now? Which I know the answer is
you're
yes.
always 100%.
Okay,
real.
but here's the thing that really has struck me. In our church, we will talk about sin, all kinds of sin, gluttony. Well, no, I'm sorry, we're not there.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about all the stuff that you deal with, pornography,
Immorality,
right?
Yeah.
Different types of sins,
Mhm.
but we won't address health.
Yeah.
Like we won't address really what the fundamental.
The stewardship
it's a stewardship.
Yeah.
So God gave you your temple.
Exactly.
What are you going to do with your temple?
But he will ask you, what did you do with what I gave you? And people think that's money, time, talent, treasure, right? That's what they normally, time, talent, treasure. That's where they go. That's where they normally get stuck at. And what I say to Americans is your physical body, your mechanism of mobility that carries your soul and your spirit, which needs to connect with people, right? Spirit to spirit, the deep cries out to the deep. We abandon that thing. We have allowed the government to absolutely contaminate American food. And the other thing is, and this has got nothing to do with food, your citizenship as a U.S. citizen, he will ask you, what did you do with your freedom? What did you do with the ability, what did you do with the ability to choose different foods? And people will say, well, some people don't have the option. We have more options in this country than any other nation on earth. And it is time for the accountability program to come into the body of Christ for our physical health.
It's your temple.
And not looking at medicine and other things. And granted, there's a place. Scripture says there's a time and a place for everything. God made doctors. God gave them the insight. When you need insulin, get insulin. When you need, when it's time for surgery, when I tear my ACL, this is not going to fix my ACL, but man, it's going to help me in my recovery. You know, and so there's a time and a place for everything. But you're right, we've abandoned it, and I am focused on it. There's a guy, William McDowell, is a pastor in Orlando, Florida. I was at Williams Church this past Sunday. This guy, check him out. Deeper Fellowship Church, Orlando. I'll send it to you. William McDowell. I believe this guy. Look, I've got buddies, man. I've got another buddy, Michael Koulianos at Jesus Image in Orlando, Michael Miller at Upper Room, Landon Schott at Mercy Culture, Heather Schott at Mercy Culture. These are the champions. But William McDowell is taking his whole church through health and fitness.
It's amazing. He's rare.
I'm talking about reading books about it. The whole congregation now, right? Deeper health. I mean, they're going in deeper, and it's deeper fellowship, and a component of it is, and he actually stood on the pulpit and repented. And William, for those of you who know, big worship ministry, amazing voice, William McDowell, Full Sail grad, Full Sail University, amazing guy, right? But this guy, who's a friend, he's a brother in Christ, William gets on stage and he repents to the church that he has not taken care of his own body. That's leadership. He starts with himself and he goes, you know what? I repent, but we're going to fix this. I want to introduce him to TruLabs.
I'd love to.
Into the concept. But this is needed.
Here's the question. How are you going to go spread the good news if you can't get off the couch? How are you going to tell people about Jesus if you can't get up and you're not mobile and God tells you to walk to a little village or whatever, or just a grocery store, right? And you're out there riding on a cart. How can you relate to somebody?
Or even beyond that, just get outside and run with your kid.
Oh man, that's the biggest. Like, yeah, I know your relationship with your kids, but like same with me. Like Maverick and I were working out this morning in the gym.
Yeah.
And he was the second fastest rower this morning. Yeah. On the rower. And I'm like, here's a 15-year-old kid that's outpacing these men. We had 8 or 9 people working out with us this morning. And he's just ripping it. And I'm telling you, like, the element of just saying, man, my son is taking this and he's grabbing it and he's wanting to champion on what God has called our family to. You know, I really feel like God has called us to challenge men to be the providers and the protectors for the family.
But you model it, though. Here's the thing. I think we do a lot of talking and a lot of saying in this country. It's time for men to do the stuff again. And I'm serious when I say this. I'm not even kidding. Like for the men who's watching this show right now or listening on the podcast, get in your car now, right now, or veer off, detour right now if you're listening to podcasts, drive to Home Depot, go buy an axe, go get wood and start splitting wood in the backyard. And watch your son's reaction and say, come out here, little Johnny. And you may look awful doing it. You may not know what you're doing, but I'm telling you, bro, you split wood for 15 minutes. It is cardio. Or get on the treadmill or get on the rower or go run, but physically model to your sons particularly that, this is Goggins and the guys that go for a 100-mile run.
Mm-hmm.
Insanity, right? And just say, men are supposed to intentionally put themselves in discomfort to grow intentionally. This country is too comfortable. Discomfort doesn't come your way by nature here. In Africa, it does. Women walk 5 miles with water jugs on their head just to give their kids, porridge in the morning. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a choice. It's there. Discomfort is there. In this country, people complain when you drive-through line at Whataburger is 5 minutes longer than it's supposed to be. So you have to be intentional in this country to get uncomfortable physically. And it's not just working out. No, I'm now at the place where work out at home in front of your kids. They need to see it. Do it. You should watch my kids in the morning. They look at me through the glass. My 9-year-old, when I do my ice plunge, my cold plunges,
Yeah.
right? And they hold my 4-year-old holds the timer.
That's great.
2 minutes, Dad. 3 minutes, Dad, right? And then he's like, I want to get in there. And he goes, and it's too cold for him at the moment. But my 9-year-old cold plunges, right? Not at 39 degrees, 57, but she gets in there. We have to model these things.
We need to do this. We've done a couple of podcasts where we have these horse troughs, feeder trough set up.
Yeah.
We throw the ice in there and we'll put, 3 or 4 guys and give them microphones. And it's amazing to see the reaction with some guys. Some guys will get in there and they're okay with the pain.
Yeah.
They're okay to just settle in.
Dan will tell you, some guys freak out to the point that they can't move. We do it at our father-son retreats. We had a pastor's son gets in. He was 14. His son gets in. He starts hyperventilating the boy. The pastor, the father, freezes. He's next. Can't walk. He has a panic attack.
It's fear.
Completely.
Yeah.
It showed something in him. They had to grab his arms. His legs went jello, right? Panic attack. And it's like, whoa, wait a second here,
We flew this big influencer in and he was coming in for a men's event last year. And we said, hey, we're going to do a podcast with you and we're going to work out. And he was all excited. Well, then we put him in an ice bath. And this guy's from Michigan.
Yeah.
And he was so embarrassed by the way he acted, he would not let us post the video. So I still have this amazing video that I would love to show everybody because it's
a northerner who lives
it's
with snow.
It's hilarious to see his reaction.
Yeah.
And it was so demeaning to him because of the way he couldn't handle it, that he wouldn't let us show it.
But he learned, and now hopefully he learned and is picking up the challenge. And I love it. I love that. Just when you drop in, it's the first 3 seconds. It's everything, and it is like, no, my mind will control my body.
That's right. Well, that's what Paul said. I will beat my body and make it my slave.
Absolutely.
Right. So here, let me just give a couple of ideas for some of the people listening right now about fitness. Start small. Look, if you need to go walk around the neighborhood and that's fitness for the day, do that. But do it consistently.
Yep.
Because what will happen is you'll build a foundation of discipline. And the next thing that I really like that we do is we do fitness with others. Yeah.
Community.
So we don't charge anybody to come work out at our gym. They come, they're invited. They work out with us. If I see that they're gonna push themselves, they're invited back, right? If they come in and they kind of don't really push themselves and they want to be comfortable, they usually don't last long. 1 or 2 days, they're gone, right? So I think, look, do something small, do it with others to keep accountability, and then find a great playlist. Like if you can find the music for, look, if you can't find a good playlist, just go download Rocky IV soundtrack now.
It's so important.
Like the training montage there. Like if you can't get hyped with that, I don't know.
It's so important.
Yeah. But music, doing it with others, start something small. And then look, I don't want to plug our product, but I think our pre is music activated. When I take our pre-workout, I put it with music. I mean, my routine is I wake up at 5 or 5:25 in the morning. I go up to my upper room in my office and I open my Bible and I put on praise and worship. If it's upper room, if it's Bethel, if it's Hillsong, and I listen to it and it just starts to enrich my soul. At the same time, I'm drinking pre-workout, the TruLabs pre-workout. and I just feel my whole body wake up. I feel my spirit wake up. And then guys start coming in because we start working out about 6:15 or 6:30. And then it's like my soul is awake, my body's awake, and now it's time to move. Yeah. And then, man, we put some music on, and it's that's how I started my day off today.
My favorite thing to do is to do the cold plunge in the dark. Dude,
man, you're next level, aren't you?
No, but I love it. It's my favorite. It's almost like this thing is like, you softy, you Q-tip. I mean, come on. When the sun is up and it's like, oh, so you wanted a little bit of sun where you're soft. And I love to do it when it's dark, because it's like, because evil loves to run in the dark. So when you do something productive in the dark, and you do, man, I tell people, you don't have to do ice cold plunges, but do something. But when you run, you're going to hear from God. When you start working out and you get to a point where you work out and your heartbeat goes 150 beats a minute, all of a sudden the things around you become less important. There's some isolation that happens. There's a focus that comes in. You start hearing your own breath and your heartbeat, and it's something about it. But I think our sons need to see it. They do need to see it.
Can I say something else? So you're talking about the dark, and the devil really comes to steal, kill, and destroy, right? Mm-hmm. That's what it says in the Bible.
Yeah.
And I feel like you don't hear about these great acts of violence or great crimes happening at 6 a.m, right? They usually happen in the middle of the night.
Yep. 12 to 2.
12 to 2. 12 to 3, right?
Yeah, those are dark hours.
And so this is what's so amazing. And I think we've got this great sleep product that we're about to launch in these 2,700 stores, but we have it online now and we're selling it at half price. It's crazy good. I use it every night. It's the TruLabs sleep product.
Not melatonin.
It has a little bit. It has 3 milligrams of melatonin,
That's right,
but it has 5 other ingredients: magnesium, valerian root, passion flower, HTTP5, and ashwagandha. So it's not melatonin only, right?
Yeah.
So like, people can talk what they want about melatonin. It's an ingredient we use in the sleep, but our sleep helps you to go to have rapid eye movement about 6 times in one night.
Yeah, REM. Yeah.
So it helps you hit that multiple times a night. But here's what I was going to say. We've had guys that have struggled with coming back from the war.
PTSD.
A lot of PTSD. We've had a lot of people who are business people, entrepreneurs, people who can't shut their mind off at night. And I'm telling you what, if you'll do this one thing, if you'll pray and like, God, I need your help. I need you to help me sleep tonight. And then you take our sleep product, I think it's 90%. It's going to help 90% of the people who ever try it. Because there's something about praying, and this was crazy. My wife was showing me this the other day. She was saying that there used to be this coven of witches, and they would actually pray at night, and they would attack people at night. But people who had prayed and had a ring of fire around them, because God was protecting them, they couldn't go through and they couldn't get into their dreams, they couldn't get into their thoughts. And I'm not trying to be weird.
No,
this is spiritual battles.
We live in a spiritual world. This battle is not flesh and blood. It is spirit, and we better start walking in the spirit. Because I'll just tell the people who are watching, how's it working out for you? You just walking in flesh and blood. Look at our country. We're falling apart at the seams. I mean, we've lost our culture. We've lost our rudder. People better start thinking about the spirit and the spiritual implications of what we say. My wife, Philippa, she is relentless at this. Speak life.
Yes.
Speak life. Little things. People go, oh, that's my luck. I always get the bad parking spot.
No, it's not.
And that's why you get it, because you speak it over yourself. Stop this nonsense. Speak life. Speak the word of God. Pray the word of God. No, I love. I'll show.
So she shows me. Let me finish the story real quick.
Yeah, thanks.
She finishes telling me about this and about if these people had prayed over at night that they were protected. So I pray for my wife and my kids at night because we'd kind of fallen out of habit of that. Jen comes to me the next morning. She's like, "That's the best night of sleep I've had."
Come on.
Because you prayed over the family as the head of the family.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I was going to look at what sun up is, because this is my ice plunge bell. 6 a.m. is my ice plunge bell. I'm going to make sure I just a memory to myself. I got to beat the sun. But no, look, prayer works because you're activating the kingdom of heaven. You're activating God's covenants, and it's all about covenants. So if people don't understand the promises God made, the Abrahamic covenant and the Mosaic covenant with Moses, Abraham, Moses, Isaac, Jacob, David, and in the covenant with Jesus, the ultimate covenant, is powerful. And those covenants are not just for the past; those covenants are active today. It's part of the fundamental laws of nature of the world, and the Lord says, my words will not return void. If you plant a seed in good soil, it will grow. It's not if, buts, or whatever. If you water a seed, it will grow. The weeds and the wheat will grow at the same time, but I will harvest. I will come for a harvest. And so I really want people to understand that there's a spiritual aspect to the physical body. The body will respond. It has to respond. The body will. If we can talk about, hey, I can get in 34-degree water, that's 2 degrees above freezing, drop down, and in 3 seconds, control breathing and get my heartbeat below 80 beats a minute and go, and I'm good, right? The mind can do that almost on its own. What happens when you start infusing the Word of God and you start praying into it, and you're in that water, and maybe you got worship going, and you start inviting God into that situation? It's life-changing.
Yeah, so I believe that we're spiritual and physical beings, and you can't separate the spiritual from the physical. No,
this is physical. And spiritual, well, this is temporary, but it's physical.
That's right.
It's physical, right?
Yeah.
But the spiritual supersedes it. So today, people can go into just about any Walmart.
Yeah, like 4,000 Walmarts. You can go into the sports nutrition section.
I was going to ask you, because it's a big store. Where
the protein is kind of by the pharmacy.
Yeah.
Where the proteins are at, and that's where our hydrate and
it's packaged in store like this.
Yes.
Okay, hydrate, beautiful packaging. It's so easy to use. I mean, I that's something I love. I put it right next to some of my TruLabs shakers that I have.
So we're also on Amazon.
Rips off. It's easy, and it sits like this on your counter, and off you go.
But you can get on Amazon. You can buy it from our website, TruLabs.com. Yep. There's multiple places, and Walmart's got a phenomenal delivery system. They're going after Amazon.
I think they're better than Amazon.
Well, and what's crazy about the Walmart one is it'll say, we'll deliver within 2 days. But what's so funny is that it'll deliver the next day most of the time.
It beats it.
I don't know why they underpromise like that.
But isn't that better?
And Amazon's gotten worse.
No, but isn't that better?
Amazon says that it'll come next day, and it usually will be delayed.
Every time he orders, I'm like, dude, I don't get overnight from Amazon. He sometimes day off anymore. Walmart will. No.
Walmart seems to beat it.
Again, I don't work for Walmart, but I'm telling you, I'm just calling the shots, calling balls and strikes as they come in. This product works, okay? It works 100%. Hydrate works. I actually gave it to an up and coming fighter. I connected him with you. You gave him product, but recently, without you knowing, a fighter, an incredible fighter, his nickname's Top Gun, Sean Kennard, Top Gun Kennard online is amazing. He's actually one of the best shooters in the country. His name is Top Gun because when he served, he was Top Gun.
Yeah.
Not flying, but shooting.
Yeah.
And he fought a week ago, 2 Sundays ago, maybe. Can you pull it up? Can you go to Kennard's Instagram and pull it up? I want to show people what a guy looks like that hydrated in 12 hours after he cut weight. Brandon, you don't know it, but
I don't know this.
But Kennard was on your product. There he is. Pull up.
Man, what a fantastic beard,
dude! Broke his hand. Scroll up real quick. Play that video. Can you play the video of the broken hand? That's not him. That the cut eye. He cut the guy's eye. No, play the video of the broken hand. Okay. Oh, well, play that. Play it through.
That's great, yeah.
Play it through. Of course, he's a rear naked choke here. He's going to take him with a rear naked choke. And he's going to tap. And he taps, okay? That's Sean Kennard. He TruLabs, but he broke his hand with this punch right here.
Oh, there you are.
Boom.
Praying for fast healing right there.
And I commented, praying for fast healing. Yikes, praying for fast healing. But broken hand, So these athletes, as you know, thank you.
Yeah, they push themselves to the limit.
Oh yeah, push themselves, and he's an amazing man of God. Look at that beard. He's an amazing man of God. He's a warrior. He's a champion. But they cut weight, and then rehydrating is everything. Is getting the weight back, but getting it back in a healthy way. So whether it's just maintaining good hydration in your body, which makes the body work better, or whether it is you're a Sean Kennard, Top Gun Kennard, you're a fighter, it's clean, it's pure, it's great. Brandon, beyond this, beyond the product, the mission, I want to take the remainder of our time here and focus it on the mission from two aspects. I get to do this. It's a blessing. I get to work with my wife. I get to partner and collaborate in my vocation and what God's called us to do in fighting human trafficking and producing media and content with my wife, right? You are running this company under God's direction with your wife.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk to me about that a little bit. I sing that song often, but talk to me about your experience there and the blessing that is. Because many guys would go, oh, dude, I don't know if I could do that. And I go, you don't know what you're missing. The partnership, it's incredible.
So I was in the professional realm of construction and real estate for, 15, 16 years before we got into this. And so it was kind of like,
and that's your family's.
Yeah. But it was like I would come home and Jim was like, well, how was your day? I was like, well, it was great. But she couldn't really relate to my day. And I could try to bring her into some of those stories. But now, since she's on this journey with me every day, like we have chickens at our place, about our chickens.
Yep.
But when we would go out when they were little chicks, and we would sit these chairs out, and we would literally just have these long talks, watching the sunset, watching our chickens, about the business, about the things that were happening. And it's put this next level layer of intimacy into our relationship. And what's great is that we're doing this thing now where we're praying 10 minutes just about our family, about the business. And we're doing this every day as a couple because where two or more are gathered, God says he's there, right? And so what's so fun about this is to fight alongside her and to have her there supporting me and me supporting her. It's made this one of the most rewarding journeys I could ever imagine. And what's so cool about God is I would have never seen this coming years ago. When I first got into this supplement business, she didn't get involved really until about 3 or 4 years ago. So she would see from the sidelines, but she wasn't really in the game. Now she's in the game and she's on the field with me.
Yeah.
And it's just been,
I'll plug Jen. If you like the marketing and the product, that's all Jen. Brandon may be sprinkling something in there. Now, what's inside the packets? I know you. Look, and it takes a faith walk to launch. I've been blessed enough to launch several companies, and it is, if you do it with God, it's a joy. I wouldn't want to do it without him. I'll say it that way. That would be brutal.
Well, I think if you did it without him, it would be about you and what you want, and about you establishing your own kind of crown, right? And you want. There's a great book, Simon Sinek, Start With Why.
Yeah.
How are you going to do this that's going to live beyond you, like beyond what you are doing on the day-to-day basis? Like we want to create something. Every man has this desire. Every woman has this desire to create something that's bigger than them. Mm-hmm. And I think that's when you bring in God in there, we're changing eternity. Wait, let me give you one story real quick.
Please.
Sam's Club, we're doing activations. We're sampling our products in the middle of the club, and we're on aisle 14. And it's just like a random Tuesday, and this lady's, giving samples at the table. But we had our own educators working in this store. And what was amazing is that the day that this lady came in was like a Tuesday, and there's hardly anybody in the store on like a Tuesday afternoon in a Sam's Club. And the lady comes and she samples our product. And when somebody sees you as a health expert, or they see you as somebody who knows something, they'll start talking about other issues that are not even necessarily about health and wellness. They'll tell you about a strange relationship with their brother or with their mom, or whatever it is. Well, this lady, this day who came in, she had some other issues that were not just physical issues. And our educator that day, and she's like the sweetest lady, I love her so much, but she's like, hey, can I tell you what's really going to help? Like, these TruLabs products are going to help. But can I tell you what's really going to help? And that's Jesus. Do you know Jesus? And it opens up this whole conversation. And right there in the middle of Sam's Club, aisle 14, this lady asked Jesus into her heart.
Come on.
So we're not just selling products. We're changing eternity.
It's not about the product. The product is a mechanism. It's a vehicle. It's a tool. And you've created a sharp tool. God's allowed you to create a sharp tool. And because the tool is sharp, it attracts people, and then it's about hearts and souls.
Yeah,
I have the unbelievable blessing to walk with two guys in Florida that are very, very close to me. That are just, Dan is by my side, an unbelievable man of God, and then these other two guys who are champions and who both have come to the end of themselves and have laid it all down. But I mean, like, really laid it all down. And they have every reason to hold on to it, because they could. One of them recently, just 2 days ago, said, I've figured out there's no such thing as a self-made man. It just doesn't exist.
True.
And you want to be a God-made man and surrender it all back to him. And that's the mission. And for some, it's in sports and nutrition. For others, it's standing at a pulpit and preaching on a Sunday. For others, it's fighting human trafficking and being on a rescue mission and speaking the life of Jesus and the love of Jesus into their hearts. And for others, it should be in an auto mechanic shop.
Mm-hmm.
Another brother of ours, Lee Adams, that fixes diesel motors and leads people to the Lord by fixing a diesel motor. To each, I want to encourage and inspire those watching. It's not like now everybody's got to jump onto launching a fitness company. Get healthy, but find out why God created you by asking him the why. Why? It's the only question. Simon Sinek, why? And then you can pursue that with the power of God to go make an impact in the world. And it's not always in the four walls of the church. It should be predominantly in the marketplace. So in closing.
Well, what's really good about what you're saying, there's a book, and I brought it today, but it's by Morgan Snyder, and it's called Becoming a King.
Okay, I haven't read it.
And it's a phenomenal book. But what he says in this book is, look, God has called you to a certain realm, into a certain area inside of his kingdom.
Yes.
Where you're supposed to become the expert. You're supposed to become the person, the go-to person in that realm to glorify him.
Yeah.
But the way to get there is you have to lay it all down.
Yeah.
And you have to say, God, I can't do this without you. And then supernaturally, through relationships, through contacts, through ideas, you might just be in the shower. Like, I get a ton of ideas just in the shower in the morning.
Anywhere with water.
Anywhere that I don't have my phone connected to me.
Right.
Right.
Golly.
But like, if I'm connected to God, if I have that true connection, that's where those ideas and that creativity comes from. And I think what's so great about God is he lets his creation thinks that we're creating. But Solomon said there's nothing new under the sun.
No, we're not
right?
creating. We're receiving and hopefully being good stewards and letting it pour out.
But you have to be connected to make that happen.
100%. Generation 3, that's what you call it.
Yeah,
right?
Gen 3 products.
Gen 3. Nothing to do with Gen.
No, that would be a good ploy.
I'm just gonna believe that it's a little hint towards Gen.
Maybe
his wife.
She's had a lot to do with the inspiration behind it.
Yeah, no, for sure. But Gen 3 products coming out
May.
Yeah,
they should hit the vitamins section at Walmart's in May. And
but people, no need to wait for Gen 3. That's a monk fruit, great, but go now, and use TruLabs as an inspiration, not just to drink the hydrate product and to hydrate and to sleep and pre-workout and the stuff, but use TruLabs as an inspiration to invest in your temple, in what God's created, the vessel that's carrying your soul and your spirit. We are physical and spiritual, and let's make a difference in the kingdom of God by actually having the sons and daughters of God walking healthy. Not everybody can come work out with you, but they can do it in their home. Yeah,
they can do it in their home. They can get tons of ideas online, and they can even follow me on Instagram, right? Which we're always posting different workouts there. I've got a whole workout section.
What's your handle?
It's just Brandon Pogue, BrandonPogue. Yeah, and that's on our Instagram.
It's not a common last name, Brandon Pogue.
There's a workout section right there that you can just click on, and there's a ton of workouts that we've posted. I think 100 different workouts that we've posted.
Why don't you? Maybe we can see the gym.
You know what? It is on here if it'll pull up. How good's your internet here?
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't speak
got
life.
The little spinning circle
speak
going
life.
on.
See, speak life, and boom, it's up.
Praise the Lord.
Hold on, that's a truck. That's the truck.
Yeah,
it's
so
a trailer.
Go to the. There's part of the gym right there.
Well, I mean, is there a wide shot of this gym?
But here's the thing. Like, God gave you taste buds.
So you give workouts on you so people can find work. Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, different workouts.
Stunning. There's the gym.
Yeah.
There's the gym.
Beautiful day. I'm ready for the sun to come back like that.
Yeah.
We can just open up all the doors.
Yep.
But look, God gave you taste buds for a reason.
Yeah.
There's no reason to drink products that don't taste good. When you can put the effort in to make products taste good that have really healthy ingredients, I think that's what really sets TruLabs apart.
Absolutely. I agree. You can imagine I have I have had the opportunity to try a lot of nutrition over the years, over the decades, and a lot of it is not consumable.
You look really good though. Whatever you're doing, you need to keep doing it. This fast has worked out for you.
I have it was the fast, and then it's back on my old program, and so I've got a mission to get back into game shape. They'll say fight shape, but game shape. Not that I'm going to go play again, but I want to get back to
fighting weight. You're fighting weight.
Fighting weight.
That's good.
Well, weight was always there, but it's a difference. It's about it's about just being ready. Before we go, I want to talk to you about another amazing company called Storyville Coffee. If you drink coffee, and I know you do, probably over-caffeinated, like Brandon said, if you're going to drink something, make sure it tastes good. Definitely nutrition and supplements. But if you're going to drink coffee, please do not drink Starbucks. They do not help the cause. Storyville Coffee helps us fight human trafficking and rescue children. When you drink Storyville Coffee, literally Flyboy, their logo, when you drink Storyville Coffee, every single cup you drink helps us rescue children and protect children against human trafficking and literally seeing lives changed in the kingdom of God. Storyville Coffee, go online, storyvillecoffee.com. No special promo code, just go storyvillecoffee.com and subscribe, and it's delivered at your house. You can get your espresso, your morning sunrise, your prologue. By the way, ranked #1 roaster in the United States. A phenomenal company, phenomenal mission with a slogan, love everybody, not everything, but everybody. Check out Storyville Coffee. Phenomenal coffee. If you're going to drink coffee, why not help us rescue children from trafficking? We want to thank the Storyville team for their support of our ministry. Brandon, closing remarks. Keep going. God bless. All the best with Gen 3.
Yeah.
And same product line, or is it extra product?
So we've actually got, and I remember I called you about a year ago and said, "Hey, do you agree with this product?"
I know, but I don't know if we can talk about it.
So let me talk about the new products.
Okay.
We've got a new peach mango flavor that'll come for Hydrate. We've got
that's gonna be cool.
It's great.
Yeah.
We've got a Hydrate plus organic greens. You know how organic greens usually have to chew through them and they taste horrible.
Yeah.
Tastes like you're eating grass. This one doesn't. It tastes like you're drinking an apple juice box, right?
Okay.
So Hydrate plus organic greens. We've got a Hydrate plus detox.
Okay.
Which will actually help people to recover from like a big heavy meal. Yeah. If they've had some wine at night, whatever, right? It's a detox for the liver. And then we have our sleep product. And that'll launch into 2,700 stores in May.
I think the Hydrate plus detox is going to be a special one.
It's going to be really special.
It's liver health.
Yeah, and
there's a lot of focus on liver health at the moment.
And I really wanted to make sure that was the place where we were supposed to go. Remember, you and I prayed about that.
Yes.
But this one has DHM in it, and it's a phenomenal product. It was really hard to do, but I'm really excited about it.
Okay. Also launching in May?
Yeah, all four. So all four will be in the vitamin section.
TruLabs.com?
TruLabs.com, Walmart.com, Amazon.com. Really just...
No special promo code.
Yeah.
I'm just a true believer of TruLabs, Patriot Mobile, Storyville Coffee, men and women who have come to the end of themselves saying, God, use me. And I pray the blessings of God, the favor of God over you, more inspiration, more favor with man for the product to go wide.
Let me offer one more thing.
Please.
We have a chaplain. Her name's Pam. She's just sweet old grandma lady who just loves praying for people.
Yeah.
And she's on our team. She's our chaplain full time. Mm-hmm. And she prays for our products, for our people, and for our customers. Right.
Okay.
And her email, if you ever want to email her, is prayer, PRAYER @TruLabs.com.
prayer@TruLabs.com. And what's her name?
Her name's Pam.
Pam is going to pray for you.
But if you need prayer, just email her, and she would love to pray for you. I was somebody
fantastic.
who doesn't even work for us,
or
anything. They were texting me this morning at 6 o'clock. I'm reading my Bible, and they had this need, and I just put them on a connect with Pam. And like that's our heart.
Yeah,
is to help people, spiritually and physically.
Don't stop. Don't lose it. You won't. I've watched you literally say no to opportunity that were not the right opportunities because you wanted to keep this bullseye center in the palm and hand of God. Well done. Are you going to sell these? You're not selling these, right?
So I think we sell those. I think we sell those online. But that's a partnership with the Ice Shaker guys out of Dallas.
This I will not. Yeah, this Ice Shaker partnership with TruLabs. This thing I will not give up. I won't mention other brands, but the other ones I wouldn't fight for. This thing is a man. This is a man's mug.
Yeah, and it's got a straw if you want to.
Yeah, but what I love about it is it's got. And again, I'm plugging stuff here. I'm just being real. I love that it. And you didn't make this, Ice Maker. I love that they put the measurements in here. That you get your measurements.
It's pretty convenient.
But it's manly.
And it'll keep everything cold or hot.
It's great
if you need it.
Brandon, thanks for coming in. Always welcome here. God bless you. Tell Jen we love her. Tell the girls and Mav.
Love you, man.
I'm glad he's outrowing the men.
He's doing really well.
Yeah, a boy amongst men.
We're training him to be a man.
He's going to be a man. God bless you. Thank you so much.
All right, buddy.
See you guys next time.